Alright, here's a little silver update, courtesy of harveyorgan.blogspot.com, Thursday, May 19th, 2011, titled Gold and Silver Hold / Poor USA Economic Data / GDP Falls Badly in Japan / Huge Gold Demand from China. And, well, I must bounce around a little bit. Gold fell today by $3.40 to $14.92.20. Silver, after being stronger in Asia and Europe, fell slightly, down by 17 cents to $34.92 as the options expiry on the equity shares go off the board tomorrow. Generally, gold and silver will rise starting Monday morning once options expiry has been put to bed. Today we saw a slew of bad economic reports out of the USA and a terrible announcement coming from Japan, which saw its GDP fall in the first quarter by 3.7% on an annual basis. This is the second negative GDP report, and it puts Japan officially into recession. I will cover all these in the body of my commentary. So I'm going to skip over. He talks about the gold at the COMEX. There's definitely some decent volume going on, but we focus on silver, the poor man's gold. So it says, now for silver, the total silver open interest rose by 1745 contracts with the good action in silver yesterday. The front delivery month of May saw its OI fall from 315 to 303 for a loss of 12 contracts. We had 6 deliveries yesterday, so we lost 6 contracts to cash settlements. The next front month in silver is the July contract, and today we saw the OI rise from 63,648 to 64,150. We are still quite away from the first day notice for the July contract. So there's nothing to read into this. The estimated volume today was smallish at 58,956. The confirmed volume yesterday was much better at 81,980. And he's got a chart here for silver. Withdrawals from the dealer inventory, nothing. Withdrawals from customer inventory, nothing. Deposits to the dealer inventory, nothing. Deposits to the customer inventory, which is interesting. 3,500 Brinks to the Brinks, I guess, vault. Number of ounces served in contracts today, 4,500. I guess 4,500 ounces. Number of ounces to be served notices are 5,900. And total monthly ounce gold. Yeah, what I'm reading you is gold, by the way. I might as well skip that. Again, we're really focused on silver, and that's what I like to talk about. So, let me scroll down a little bit here. Silver, withdrawals from dealers' inventory, nothing. Withdrawals from customer inventory, 502,000. 502,000. Deposits to the dealer inventory, nothing. Deposits to the customer inventory, 920,915, which was in the Brinks. Number of ounces served or contracts today, 410,000. Number of ounces to be served or notices to be served, 1.1 million. Total monthly ounce of silver served contracts so far this month is 2.5 million. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let us begin. There must have been mass confusion in all silver vaults today. In the receiving department, we had a huge 920,915 ounces of silver enter Brinks. There were no deposits of any kind to the dealer, and there was no withdrawals by the dealer. However, in the withdrawal category by a customer, we saw a huge 498,998 ounces leave Brinks, and another 3,002 ounces leave the Delaware vault, for a total of 502,000 ounces withdraw of silver. If you are keeping score, we had a net deposit to the customer of 418,915. Now for the fun stuff. We had 2 adjustments in silver. The first is quite tame. 24,602 ounces leaves the customer as it enters the dealer, probably as lease arrangement, who knows. Get a load of the second transaction. We see an adjustment where 496,058 ounces leave a dealer account at HSBC, which I love because HSBC and JP Morgan are the big time manipulators, with an adjusting entry of a credit to the customer account of 500,996 ounces. It seems that a customer got his silver back with a 4,938 ounce profit, if you will. This withdrawal from the dealer brings its level down to a very low 32.1 million ounces. The total handle is still above 100 million total ounces of silver. The COMEX folk notified us that a very chunky 82 notices were filed today for a total of 225,000 ounces. The total number of notices filed so far this month total 511, or 2.55 million ounces. To obtain what is left to be served upon, I take the OI standing tonight, 303, and subtract out today's deliveries, which is 82, which leaves me with 221 notices, or 1.1 million ounces left to be served upon. Thus, the total number of silver ounces standing in this delivery month is as follows: 2.55 million ounces served plus 1.1 million ounces to be served equals 3.660 million, or 3,660,000 ounces. We had a reading yesterday of 3.690, so we lost 30,000 ounces of silver, or 6 contracts as stated above. This no doubt was cash settlements. Yeah, fine. That makes sense. Now here's something interesting where he talked about GLD and SLV, the paper silver, alleged SLV contracts supposedly say for every ounce of silver we own in our vaults, we'll put out a stock. So if they claim they have 300 million ounces of silver in their vaults, they've got 300, or the equivalent anyways, of that in shares, basically is how I should say that. So in other words, you can't possibly get scammed because they've got the physical backing what they've put out on paper stocks, which everyone has said is a scam, and there's no way they have it. And here's where he shows some stats, and then he says we lost a massive 7.8 million ounces of silver from the SLV. I guess today or last night or yesterday, whatever. Well, it was May 19. We lost a massive 7.8 million ounces of silver from the SLV. It is almost impossible to move that quantity of inventory in one single day. That's 7.8 million ounces. That's a lot of silver. This vehicle is a massive fraud, and I am not the only one saying it. So he goes on to talk about a lot of other stuff. I want to scroll down to China and the gold thing. Please note, for all of 2010, China had an annual gold demand of 187.4 tons. Get this, for the first quarter of 2011, just the first quarter, the demand has reached 142.9 tons. So it was 187 tons, and now it's roughly 143 tons in just the first quarter. 187 all year long last year, 142 already the first quarter. What do you suppose the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter is going to be for China? Exactly. For 2011, they expect 700 tons of demand, or 26% of annual gold production. For 2011 alone, China expects, or potentially, 700 tons of gold. That's what they want. That is 1/4, 26% roughly, of the entire gold output, I guess, annual gold production. For the past 4 quarters, total demand for Greater China, and he's saying mainland China plus Hong Kong and Taiwan, equates to a stunning 745 tons of gold. That's for the past 4 quarters. The WGC, which does not state whether any of this is official demand or not. Regardless, the figures are stunning. and it shows where all the gold is heading. Exactly what I stated at the CFTC hearings. And he quotes, "I fear that gold will leave our shores and head straight to Chinese, Russian, and other foreign shores." End quote. Here is the official release on Chinese demand for physical gold. And I'm not sure who he was quoting. See if he says up here. I'm not sure who he was actually quoting. WGC, or I guess WGC. WGC. China's annual gold demand tops 700 metric tons. Still growing. May 19th. Kitco News. China's total annual gold demand topped 700 metric tons for the first time ever last year, and is expected to keep rising over the next decade. So anyways, I've said enough. I've talked enough about this. I've got another video I need to do.